right? And I was in Bunny XO's repost, and this man may have filed for divorce, but he did something nefarious and diabolical. He did something. I feel like we gonna get like another baby, a mistress. There's something happened here. The divorce is on this man, okay? Those reposts are very telling. One thing I'm gonna say though is you can't build a bum up. That is exactly what this woman did. She built that bum up. The reason why Jelly Roll is where he's at is because of her. Let's just be real. She stuck beside him when she couldn't even find that shrimp, okay? This man played in her face through their whole relationship. Another thing I'm gonna have to say is they're a prime example of keep what you got going on home in your home or with a therapist. Don't bring it to the public because we know all their business. And I don't even really follow these two like that. I'm not really a fan, but I know all their business. I know he had a baby on her. I know he's cheated multiple times. I know he got a shrimp, you know what, that belly was hanging over. She couldn't find that. She's still stuck beside him, okay? I know way too much. And as I was saying, as soon as that man got a bag, got skinny, and fixed his teeth, he's on to the next. I assure you something is gonna come out where he did some like cheating. I mean, he's already a cheater. I feel like Bunny, the first cheating instance, you gotta leave. I feel like people will be like, oh, we can work on our marriage, we can make it work. I feel like once somebody goes that far as to disrespecting your relationship by cheating or having an outside baby, you gotta do stuff out of there. Because once you take them back, that's like a line that should never be crossed. They know they can cross that line with you and they're gonna do it again. Sorry. You been to those reposts over there? I was like, baby, he did something bad. It's gonna come out. They can't hold water. She can't hold water for they can't hold water for
Talked 6 months ago talking about Jelly Roll and his wife. He cheated on his wife Bunny before. I said in my previous video that is up on my page from 6 months ago that he is a false prophet. He likes to use Christ to get more followers and to get more fans because of who his following is. But as soon as that man started dropping weight, as soon as he got on that Ozempic and started dropping weight, what he did, he went back and been disloyal to his wife again. Now he's ready. He the one divorcing her. And you know that only 10% of men divorce their wives. Most of the time, the wives are the ones that divorce the man. And normally out of that 10%, 7% of men, when they file for a divorce, they have already found a new girlfriend. Okay? You can look this up. Okay? You can look this number up. But I also feel like when people who have a troubled past, which we all have a troubled past, but some people with a troubled past, they like to use Christ as like a redemption arc to say that they're a different person. But if you have poor commitment issues when it comes to being loyal to your family, whether it was through traumas, through being poor, through addictions, you still have poor commitments to the people that supposedly matter the most to you. And that's not going to change. And it's obviously proven, like I mentioned in my last video.
Now, if I was a betting woman, I would be willing to put money on the fact that Jelly Roll believes that he is now better than Bunny XO. But I want to remind everybody that this may be the Jelly Roll that you know today, but this is the Jelly Roll that I grew up listening to with a mixtape out of Antioch. This whole I'm just a country boy, he was a rapper that was from the hood. Now, after that time in his life, he was heavily in his drug use time. He was extremely overweight, self-destructive behavior, fighting for custody for his daughter. And Bunny saved him. He has credited this woman with helping him change his life. And if it wasn't for her, he wouldn't be here. His words, not mine. So I'm willing to bet that now he has become a country artist, lost this weight, starting to make a whole nother level of money. He's in different circles. He's seeing different people. He believes he's better than Bunny.
And that's been the narrative ever since the divorce was announced. But Jelly Roll is coming out addressing the drama. He said this is his first and only time that he's going to do it too. But yeah, he got on stage and said the internet is a lie.
I wasn't going to talk about this tonight, but while we're talking about liars, the internet is a liar too. It's the only time and the only city I'm going to speak about this, so break your camera phones out now. Me and my wife are best friends. We will always be best friends. We just got off the phone earlier today. Nobody cheated on nobody. She just did a whole podcast about it. You can go watch it. Every word of it is the truth. That will be my best friend forever. This is the only time I will ever speak about it. Bunny, I love you, baby. Thank you for those 10 years. They were incredible. Thank you for the next 10 years of friendship and 20 beyond that. With that being said, cheers, everybody. Thanks for coming out tonight.
Jelly Roll's issue weight loss and plans to divorce Bonnie is heating up the internet, and it is hitting it for all of the wrong reasons, because just like credit to the videos and the content creators, so much information has been put out there that there's nothing anymore that is private, and so people are coming after him after Bonnie has been there with him, which he verbally acknowledged through the hard times and the tough times, and all of a sudden you're now into certain circles and you now begin to feel that she's not needed in the next phase of your life after several cases where you have cheated on her, had 2 children out of marriage, of course, which Bonnie does not have, and his issues with playing with the church, telling us he's found Christ and his new leaf. The Christian community is confused. People who know this family is also confused, looking at Jelly Roll and asking themselves a question: is this the new leaf? Is this all traceable to his sudden loss in wealth? Wait, by the way, and people say he's no longer Jelly anymore. So if you're just coming into contact with my YouTube channel, please hit that notification button, hit that subscription button, follow your brother, so that when we bring up new contents, you will be first to be notified and be refreshed. So we're going to look at some other videos that are out there concerning this current controversy by Jelly Roll and his wife, and we'll come back to give you our own final analysis on the subject matter. All right.
Jay and I have never been really good at having disagreements. So we were the type of couple who never argued, so he would be holding things in, I would be holding things in. And, that's a recipe for disaster. And we always preach, you got to be comfortable having the uncomfortable conversations. And we did that for 8 years in. And then the past, year and a half, we kind of got away from that because just we're in a different life right now. And so on Mother's Day, we had a little bit of an argument, which I don't think the details are necessary. And in that argument, I was so fed up and so tired that I just looked at him and I said, well, then file the divorce papers. Relationship, that is the one cardinal thing that you don't say, even though my husband has said it numerous times because he's the runner. But when I say it, it really holds weight because I'm not the type of person who says what I don't mean. And I ended up leaving. I packed a bag and I left. There's a couple other things that happened that, if I ever do write a book, I'll talk about it, but I just don't think it's imperative to the situation right now. So I packed a bag and I left, and I didn't talk to my husband for, weeks after that. And during that, he was so mad and we were so emotional that he ended up doing exactly what I told him to do and filing the divorce papers.
You've heard it from Bonnie. This marriage, this union has been that which has been a very sickening one, because from day one, you said you picked up your things, you packed your things, you left the house, and you asked him to file for divorce. And according to you, you are not the kind of person that talks like the way he talks. You do what you want to do. You go ahead, and when you talk, you mean it. And you asked him to file the divorce. So what is the hustles for? And this is sickening, because it shows the dysfunctionality not just in the life of Johnny Roll, but also in the life of Bonnie too, because you are also talking about having surrogates with someone whom you've divorced with. So it doesn't make sense. This is a man who has walked out on 2 ladies that he had children with. He did not father them. He is not there to take responsibility, accountability for these children. And I don't know why you expect him to treat you differently, and why are you all getting us into your business. So we want to know what your perspectives are, both ladies, gentlemen. There, don't fail to subscribe and like this channel. See you on the next video.